Story 1. Keeping me up at night. Starting from the time I was around 10, I had terrible insomnia. I would imagine things and I felt incredibly unsafe, as though I was being watched. Although I never admitted this to anyone, I began only sleeping on the couch, with my back against the wall. And I had to have the TV or some sort of light on. I missed an immense amount of school because of this. So my mom took me to see a neurologist. The neurologist diagnosed me with some things. But the crazy part was, during my sleep study, I slept amazingly well. No issues at all. And I slept in a real bed. Eventually I got transferred to a children's hospital and was speaking to the doctor. I explained that I would see things and felt uncomfortable. They had thought I was experiencing sleep paralysis. When I told my mom, she went white as a ghost. She pulled me aside and explained that she was experiencing things too. She described in detail what I was seeing. That evening, she approached my brother and asked broad questions. Have you had anything weird happen in our house? He described exactly what me and my mom had both experienced. It was then I realized that we must have paranormal activity in the house. I've believed ever since. When we moved out of that house, all my sleep issues abruptly stopped. I haven't experienced it since. I used to see a large dark figure that I believed to be a man who would walk the halls at night. I would see things happening or hear things, like a cup would fall off a counter, or items on the entry room table would move. One evening I remember seeing a black figure that was smaller, like basketball size small, run across my bedroom floor. It hit the wall and went under my bed. As I was convincing myself it was imaginary, my mom came running in. She had heard the thud. At the time we hadn't concluded the ghost thing, so I didn't say what it was. But I ended up leaving the house that night and spent the night with a friend because I was terrified. My mom said that she's experienced the feeling of someone sitting on her bed many times. She said that she would always think it was one of us until she looked, and there was never anyone there. But she could see an indent in the bed, as if someone was sitting there. Story 2. The boy on the ceiling. In high school, I worked kids' birthday parties. The place was basically a giant gym. Gymnastics and dance classes were held there. One day I came in, and one of the girls I worked with, who was very spiritual and very religious, was totally freaked out. During the gymnastics class that she taught that morning, one of the kids kept staring at the ceiling. When she asked the kid what he was doing, he said, "There's a little boy up there," and pointed at the ceiling. Strange, but whatever. Kids are weird. Later, 2 girls who were working a birthday party before mine came out of the gym and was visibly shaken. A pair of 5-year-old twins went down a slide and then started staring at the ceiling. They both said that there was a little boy up there in the same spot on the ceiling where the kid from the morning gymnastics class had pointed and claimed to have saw a little boy. We all went in and inspected the ceiling. Of course, it was just a regular, gray, warehousey style ceiling. But we were all super freaked out at this point. During my party, I was pushing a little boy on a giant swing we had in the gym, when he too began staring at the ceiling. He said directly to my face, "Hey, there's a little boy up there." We told all of our coworkers and managers about the 3 separate experiences we had had today, with children from different parties and classes, all claiming to see a little boy on the same spot in the ceiling. The next day, we had downtime between parties. No one was in the gym area. There are cameras in the gym that allow parents to see their children playing from the lobby. My manager called us out of the break room. "Hey guys, you need to check this out." We come out and look at the screen that's streaming directly from the gym, and it shows the giant swing going back and forth. No one's in there. The air conditioner is not strong enough to swing it. Just the swing going back and forth. I like to think that the ghost was truly a little boy who just wanted to play. And he finally got his turn on the swing. We could be haunted by worse. Story 3. Oh, it's you. Several years ago, while working as a hospice nurse, we received a referral for a lady who was dying of cancer. I called her for weeks trying to get her to allow me to come out to her house and tell her about hospice. She politely refused each time, assured me that she didn't need help, and all that jazz. I called again and again. I got nowhere. Her primary care provider was frantic and insisted that I just go anyway, show up unannounced, which finally I did. Her husband answered the door and let me come in after I explained my mission. He led me to her bedroom. She started laughing when I came into her room and introduced myself. "Oh, it's you. I would have let you come out weeks ago if I'd known it was going to be you." I was totally confused. I've never laid eyes on this woman before. So I asked her how we knew each other. She calmly replied, "You don't know me, but I know you. I've dreamed about you every night." She then went on to tell me that for weeks she's been having a dream about me, and my husband agreed that she's talked of little else. Let me tell you, I was freaked out. But I kept my composure until I left. And then I just couldn't stop shaking. The patient was very nonchalant about it and didn't think it was odd at all. The end of the story is that I did in fact become her hospice nurse and cared for her until her passing. She was a lovely, funny, kind woman that I will never forget. Story 4. Grandma. When I was 5 years old, I woke up in the middle of the night and my grandma was standing at the foot of my bed, wearing a teal blue skirt and matching blouse. I remember that it was summer and the sky was still light out, but not light enough for me to read. Probably around 9 o'clock. I sat up and she put her finger to her lips. I rubbed my eyes a couple times because I was sleepy. And when I looked back, she was gone. I just snuggled back under my covers, thinking about how nice it was to see her. I hadn't seen her in ages. I was hoping that she'd still be there when I woke up. The next morning, my house was eerily quiet. My mom was in a mood. She had been crying, so I asked her what was wrong. My grandma had died the night before. She had been crossing the road after her bingo had let out, around 8:30-ish, 60 miles from where we lived. She had a massive brain hemorrhage in the middle of the road. She didn't even make it to the other side, let alone my house 60 miles away. She died wearing a teal blue skirt and matching blouse. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the stories. If you did, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I really do appreciate it.